You want respect? Then understand this one truth. Respect isn't handed out like free samples. It's earned every single day. Nobody owes you anything. You don't get respect just because you showed up. You don't get respect because of where you came from, your background, your name, or what you think you deserve. You get respect when you do something worth respecting. You get respect when you show the world who you are, not through your words, but through your grind. You earn it when you put in the time, the effort, the sweat, and the sacrifice that most people run from. Respect is not a right, it's a reward for showing up, pushing through, and never backing down when things get tough. Every single person you admire, every name you respect, they weren't just born with it, they built it. They struggled for it. They went through trials and failures that would have made most people quit. And that's why we respect them. Not for the wins alone, but for the wins alone, but for the fight they brought to the game. If you want to be respected like the greats, then you have to move like the greats. You got to stop asking for validation and start demanding it with your work ethic. You've got to stop hoping people will recognize you and start giving them no choice but to recognize your drive, your consistency, and your excellence. And your excellence. There's a mentality shift that has to happen. Most people think they deserve respect because they've been through something. No, you earn respect when you turn what you've been through into power, into progress, into something greater than just your story. Everyone's got a story. Everyone's had pain, but not everyone turned that pain into purpose. That's where the respect lies, in how you respond, in how you respond, in how you rise, in how you keep swinging when life keeps hitting. People don't respect comfort zones. They respect those who step outside of them. People don't respect fear. They respect courage in the face of it. You want your family to respect you? Then lead them. Show them what discipline looks like. Show them what commitment looks like. Let your kids, your spouse, your people see a person who doesn't just talk, but walks it out every day. You want your team to respect you. Then be the first one in and then the last one out. Be the one who sets the standard, not the one who waits for someone else to bring the energy. You want the world to respect your craft? Then treat your craft like it's sacred. Protect your time. Refuse to give in to laziness. Refuse to accept mediocrity. That's how you earn respect. Through consistent focus, disciplined action. Look around you. We live in a world full of people chasing attention, but attention and respect are not the same. You can go viral and still be irrelevant in real life. You can make noise and still be forgotten. But when you earn respect, it stays, sticks. It opens doors. It brings opportunity. And most importantly, it gives you something that no amount of likes or views ever will. Dignity, integrity, legacy. And that only comes when people can look at you and say, that person shows up. That person is the real deal. Respect requires character. It requires integrity when no one's watching. It requires excellence in the little things. It's not just about what you do when the cameras are on. It's about what you do in the shadow. It's about how you show up when no one is clapping. It's about the choices you make when temptation shows up, when your back's against the wall, and when quitting feels like the easiest option. The way you act in those moments defines whether or not you'll ever truly earn respect. Because respect is about trust, and trust is built over time through action, not empty promises. So if you're wondering why people aren't respecting you the way you want, don't get bitter. Get better. Ask yourself, are you doing what needs to be done, or are you doing what's convenient? Are you showing up with intensity, or are you showing up with excuses? Are you giving your best, or are you just getting by? That's the line between being liked and being respected. Being liked is easy. Being respected requires sacrifice. You have to make hard choices. Take responsibility for your life and stop pointing fingers. People don't respect victims. They respect victors. They respect those who take pain and build with it. Those who take failure and learn from it. Those who take life and squeeze greatness out of it, no matter the cost. You're not going to be respected just because you showed up. You're going to be respected because you kept showing up, even when it got hard. Because you stayed disciplined when everyone else got distracted. Because you kept grinding in silence when no one believed in you. Because you believed in yourself enough to act, to evolve, to rise. Respect doesn't come in a moment, it comes over time. If you want to be respected, you can't just show up and go through the motions. You've got to outwork everyone in the room. That's the real key. That's how the greats separate themselves from the average. It's not always about being the most talented, the most gifted, or the most connected. It's about who's willing to grind when others get comfortable, who's willing to sacrifice when others want to relax, who's willing to put in more, give more, and suffer more than the rest. That's how respect is built. Not by talking about what you're going to do, but by actually doing it better, faster, and longer than anyone else is willing to. You walk into any room, classroom, gym, office, boardroom, and the question is not who's the smartest or who's been here the longest. The question is, who's got the hunger? Because hunger wins. Hunger makes you wake up before the sun. Hunger makes you stay up studying when your body says sleep. Hunger makes you take the stairs when everyone else is looking for the elevator. When you outwork everyone, you separate yourself from the noise. You become the one they look to, the one they talk about, the one they respect. Nobody respects average effort. They might like you. They might even support you. But they don't respect you until they see what you're willing to do that others won't. It's when you show up first and leave last. When you keep moving when others sit down. When you do the work without needing recognition. People start to take notice. They might not say it out loud, but they see you. They know you're on another level. Because most people aren't willing to give that level of effort consistently. Most people are okay with blending in, but not you. Not if you want respect. You've got to show them what dedication looks like. You've got to become the example of work ethic. And here's the thing. Sometimes outworking everyone doesn't get noticed right away. You might feel like nobody sees you grinding. Nobody appreciates your commitment. Nobody's watching your discipline. But I promise you, someone's always watching. Maybe it's your competition. Maybe it's your team. Maybe it's your future self. But what you do in the dark always comes to light. Eventually, the results speak for themselves. The wins come. The breakthrough happens. And when it does, no one can deny how you got there. You earned it. Not by shortcuts, not by hype, but by hustle. There are no days off when it comes to earning respect. Even when you don't feel like it, you gotta push. Even when you're tired, you gotta keep going. Because every day you outwork the person next to you, you widen the gap. Every day you grind when they relax, you move closer to greatness. It's not just about working hard. It's about working smart, being intentional, staying locked in on your vision. It's about maximizing every moment, every opportunity, every rep, every conversation. Winners don't just put in more hours. They put in better hours. They train their mind, their body, their habits, their environment. They leave nothing to chance. Understand that work ethic is a choice. You don't have to be born with it. You just have to decide. Decide that you're not going to be outworked. Decide that you're going to bring more energy, more focus, and more effort than anyone else. Decide that you're going to be the one who sets the standard. Because when you raise your standard, everything else follows. People begin to treat you different. Not because you demanded respect, but because you earned it. You showed them through action, through consistency, through grit. There's always someone more talented, always someone with more resources, but that doesn't matter if they don't work. You can beat talent with effort. You can beat connections with consistency. You can beat odds with obsession. The ones who win, the ones who get remembered, are the ones who refuse to be outworked. That's who people respect. That's who they want to follow. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, but the most committed. The one who shows up when it's hard. The one who doesn't take shortcuts. The one who is relentless. So the next time you're in a room full of people, don't worry about standing out by talking. Stand out by doing. Out-hustle everyone. Out-prepare everyone. Out-discipline everyone. Make them wonder how you keep going. Make them ask where your drive comes from. Make your presence known without having to say a word. Because true respect doesn't need an announcement. It just needs effort. Consistent, daily, all in effort. And when you commit to that mindset, you'll earn not only respect, but also the results and the legacy that come with it. If you want to earn respect in this world, it starts with one critical decision. You must respect yourself first. You can't expect others to value you when you don't value yourself. You can't demand honor from the world if you don't carry yourself with honor. Everything begins on the inside. It's not about how loud you are or how strong you look on the outside. It's about how solid and disciplined you are when no one's watching. Self-respect isn't built overnight. It's built through the choices you make daily, the way you speak to yourself, the habits you follow, and the standards you refuse to lower, no matter how tempting it gets. People think respect is about what others give to you, but real respect starts with what you give to yourself. When you respect yourself, you stop tolerating less than you deserve. You stop settling for relationships that drain you. You stop making excuses for poor performance. You begin to demand more from yourself, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that honors your worth. Self-respect is about drawing a line and saying, nah, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. And this is how I move. It's about having integrity even when it costs you. It's about staying loyal to your vision even when no one claps for you. When you have self-respect, you carry yourself differently. You don't need to beg for attention because your energy speaks for itself. You don't need validation because your actions validate your intention. And you definitely don't need to fit in because you've already chosen to stand out. You walk with purpose, with discipline, with clarity. You're not chasing people. You're not begging to be included. You built something within yourself so strong that it naturally commands the respect of others. Why? Because people can feel when you respect yourself. They sense it in how you show up, how you talk, how you move. Respecting yourself means keeping your word to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. If you say you're going to show up, you show up. Not just for others, but for you. That builds trust with yourself. And when you trust yourself, your confidence grows. When your confidence grows, your presence grows. When your presence grows, respect follows. The reason most people don't get the respect they want is because they break promises to themselves every day. They say they're going to wake up early and don't. They say they're going to hit the gym, but make excuses. They say that they're going to chase their dream, then procrastinate. Every time they do that, they chip away at their own self-respect. Let me tell you something. When you learn to respect yourself, your whole life shifts. You stop wasting time. You stop entertaining drama. You stop living beneath your calling. You set higher standards for how you think, how you speak, how you act. You start saying no to things that don't align with your values. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't deserve access to you. You stop tolerating environments that drain your light because you finally recognize your worth. And that's when people start to recognize it too. Self-respect is also about taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. It's not just about pushing hard and hustling. It's about rest. It's about mental health. It's about mental health. Can't pour into others if you're empty. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. You can't build a strong reputation if you keep tearing yourself down. Respecting yourself means treating yourself like someone who matters, someone who's valuable, someone who has a purpose and isn't willing to throw it away for cheap validation or temporary pleasure. It's also about taking responsibility for your life. No more blaming the past. No more blaming your parents, your boss, your situation. When you respect yourself, you take control of your destiny. You accept where you are, but you refuse to stay there. You use the pain as fuel. You use the rejection as a lesson. You turn the losses into wisdom because you believe deep down that you were made for something more. That belief is powerful. That belief, when paired with action, becomes unstoppable. When you start moving with self-respect, people treat you differently. They can feel your energy. They notice how you don't tolerate foolishness. They see how you set boundaries without guilt. And most importantly, they learn to mirror your behavior because respect is contagious. When you hold yourself to a high standard, others have no choice but to rise to meet you or they fall away. You win because you stay true to yourself. So if you're wondering where to start on your journey of respect, don't look outward. Don't focus on convincing others. Focus on convincing others. Start inward. Start with your daily habits. Start with how you talk to yourself in the mirror. Start with the promises you keep, the goals you chase, the way you protect your energy. Earning respect requires one thing many people avoid: consistency. Not hype, not flashes of greatness, not one moment of success. Consistency. Day in, day out, showing up with the same energy, the same focus, and the same commitment, even when no one's watching, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. That's what makes people take notice. That's what builds a reputation, because anyone can be great once. Anyone can give their all for a day, but the ones who keep going when it's boring, when it's repetitive, when there's no applause, those are the ones who earn real respect. Consistency is the quiet power that separates the respected from the forgotten. Think about it. The people you respect the most, they didn't just show up once and disappear. They kept showing up again and again. They made a decision to commit, and then they backed it up with action, no matter how they felt, because feelings are fleeting. But discipline is a decision. Consistency means you build a foundation strong enough to weather storms. It means you don't crumble under pressure. You don't retreat when it's inconvenient. You show up because it's who you are, not just what you do. People are watching you. Whether it's your team, your family, your friends, or your peers, they're observing your patterns. And what they see repeatedly becomes what they believe about you. If you show up one day with passion and then disappear the next, you'll never earn their trust. Without trust, there's no respect. But if you show up every day, give your best effort, stay true to your values, and push through the resistance, people start to say, that person's real. You don't have to beg for their respect. It finds you because you've proven you're dependable, you've proven you're serious. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not Instagrammable. It's waking up at 5 a.m. when you want to sleep in. It's going to the gym when your body says no. It's staying late to finish a project no one else cares about. It's practicing your craft when others are relaxing. And over time, that discipline compounds. The results start to show. And more importantly, your mindset changes. You start to believe in yourself, not because of hype, but because you have a track record. You know you put in the work. You build something real. And that internal respect radiates out. Respect isn't earned by showing up perfect. It's earned by showing up persistent. You don't have to win every day, but you have to fight every day. You have to keep moving forward. Even when progress is slow, even when results aren't showing yet, consistency says, I believe in what I'm doing enough to keep going. That belief is powerful. That commitment is rare. And people respect rare. In a world full of talkers and quitters, the one who stays the course becomes unforgettable. But let's be real. It's hard. Consistency costs. It means sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term growth. It means saying no to distractions. It means pushing past boredom and staying laser-focused on your vision. And there will be days when you want to quit, days when no one claps, days when nothing seems to be working. That's when most people fall off, but not you. Not if you're serious about earning respect. You've got to push through those days. You've got to remind yourself why you started. You've got to recommit, not once, but every single day. And here's the thing, consistency doesn't mean perfection. You're going to mess up. You're going to slip. But it's about how quickly you get back on track. Respect comes from resilience, from the ability to bounce back stronger, from the discipline to start over without excuses. Consistency is a mindset. It's the identity of someone who refuses to quit. Someone who says, I might not be the most talented, but I'm the most relentless. Look at the greats, athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. They didn't become respected because of one moment. They became respected because of what they did over years. They kept showing up when it was hard. They kept grinding when no one believed. They stayed consistent when others looked for shortcuts. And eventually the world caught up. That's how respect is built. One choice at a time, one day at a time. So ask yourself, are you consistent in your actions? Do your habits align with your goals? Are you showing up when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when no one's cheering? Because if you are, keep going. You're building something unshakable. And if you're not, start today. Make the choice to commit. Make the choice to keep your word to yourself. Make the choice to be consistent, even when it's hard. Because in the end, consistency wins. It outlasts talent. It outperforms hype. And most importantly, it earns the respect that nothing else can. Respect isn't just given, it's earned through overcoming adversity. You can't expect people to truly respect you if they've never seen you go through something and come out stronger. It's in the struggle where your character is tested. It's in the pressure where your integrity is proven. Anybody can smile when life is easy. Anybody can perform when everything is lined up perfectly. But the person who takes a hit and still keeps moving forward, That's the person people respect. That's the person others admire because they've seen what it takes to keep standing when life tries to knock you down. When you face challenges, when life throws storms at you, you've got two choices. Let it break you or let it build you. Those who choose the second path, the ones who take their pain and turn it into fuel, are the ones who rise above. Not only do they gain strength, they earn respect. Because it's not the fall that defines you, it's how you rise. Everyone loves a comeback story. But to have one, you got to be willing to go through the pain of falling, the discipline of getting back up, and the courage to keep fighting when you have every reason to quit. Look around at the people who are respected in your life. Chances are they've been through something. Maybe they've lost a job, battled addiction, fought through poverty, dealt with betrayal, or endured failure. And yet they didn't let those things define them. They used those trials as stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. They took the lessons, not the losses. And that's what set them apart. That's what made people take notice. Not because they never suffered, but because they never surrendered. Adversity reveals what you're really made of. It strips away the fake, the shallow, and weak. It forces you to dig deep to discover your inner power. When things get hard and the crowd disappears, that's when you find out if you're real or not. And the truth is, people respect what's real. They're not impressed by surface level confidence or empty motivation. They want to see someone who's been through the fire and didn't burn. Someone who's been broken but kept walking. Someone who didn't have all the answers but refused to give up. That kind of resilience speaks louder than words. But here's what most people don't understand. Adversity doesn't just come to hurt you, it comes to shape you. Every trial is a chance to level up. Every challenge is an invitation to grow stronger. When you change your mindset and see hardship as training, not punishment, everything shifts. Suddenly, you're not afraid of the storm, you're built for it. You're not running from problems, you're running toward your potential. That shift in how you respond to adversity is what earns respect. Because people are watching. They see how you handle pressure. They see how you respond when things don't go your way. And when they see that you didn't fold, that you stood tall, they gain a new level of respect for you. This doesn't mean you have to pretend to be tough all the time. It's okay to cry, to feel broken, to be vulnerable. But you don't stay there. You get up, you ride, you move. That's the difference. That's what separates those who are respected from those who are pitied. Everyone has pain, but not everyone turns pain into power. The ones who do are the ones who inspire others. They're the ones whose lives become a message of what's possible. And that message speaks louder than any motivational quote or speech ever could. Respect also comes from transparency in the face of adversity. When you stop hiding your scars and start showing people what you've been through, you give them permission to believe in their own strength. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with progress. They respect someone who can say, yeah, I've been through some things, but I'm still here. I'm still staying there. I'm still moving forward. That kind of testimony changes lives. That kind of story commands respect. And let's be real. Most people aren't willing to embrace adversity. They run from it. They avoid discomfort. They stay in their comfort zone. But you're different. If you want to earn respect, you've got to lean into the hard things. You got to stop seeing failure as the end and start seeing it as feedback. You got to stop asking, why me? And start saying, try me. That shift in mindset's powerful. It's what allows you to grow when others shrink. It's what helps you rise while others retreat. So don't hide from adversity. Embrace it. Learn from it. Let it refine you. Let it harden your resilience and deepen your character. Because the greater the struggle, the greater the struggle, the greater the strength, and the greater the strength, the deeper the respect. When people see that you've been through something and came out stronger, not bitter, not broken, but better, they can't help but respect that. They know it wasn't easy. They know it took everything in you